The Iranian Revolutionary Guards have claimed that they have targeted Israel's Ben Gurion Airport and the Israeli Air Force's 27th Air Base in Tel Aviv. According to the IRGC, the missiles were fired as part of the 19th wave of Operation True Promise 4. IRGC claims that it used the heavy Khorramshahr-4 missiles carrying 1-ton warheads. The Khorramshahr missile is among Iran's most prominent ballistic missile systems with a range of 2,000 kilometers. The fourth generation of the missile, known as Khorramshahr-4 or Khyber, was unveiled back in May 2023. According to the Iranian military, the missile carries a warhead weighing about 1,500 kilograms and can reach speeds of Mach 16 outside the atmosphere and Mach 8 within it. The developments come on the heels of 2 repatriation flights landing at the Ben Gurion Airport, which otherwise remains closed for commercial traffic. These are the first repatriation flights to arrive with Israelis on board who have returned after being stranded in several countries due to Israel closing its airspace. Both flights carried 170 passengers each. In fact, the Israeli Transportation Minister Miri Regev has announced that Israel will open up its skies for departing flights starting Sunday. Last year, during the 12-day war, Iran had claimed that it had used the Khorramshahr-4 missile to strike Israel hours after America struck prominent nuclear facilities across Iran. And joining me live on the broadcast is Stav Cohen. He's a lawyer, IDF reservist and founder Frontline Advocates. Good evening and welcome to WION, Stav. I want to start by understanding from you what many are asking, that when Israel has already been embroiled in a war against Hamas, how far can it go in the war against Iran, considering the fact that, they've also called in about 100,000 of thousands of reservists like yourselves?
First of all, man, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here, and we will go as far as needed to make sure that the terror regime of Iran will no longer pose a threat. First of all, to the Iranian people, because just as you've seen, ma'am, at the past couple of months, they've been murdered, tens of thousands of their own people, and if I may. An Iranian follower of mine sent me on Instagram a video of fire trucks washing down the streets from all of the rivers of blood, tremendous amount of bodies, casualties due to the Iranian terror regime massacre. So we will go as far as needed in order to make sure that the Iranian people will be free, but also to make sure that my future kids hopefully won't have to live in this reality in which every 4 months tens of thousands of ballistic missiles are being thrown at us. Just yesterday, I filmed some content and gave some interviews in Tel Aviv where the direct missile hit was taking place. And I've seen, actually I filmed it, a mother running to shelter with her 5-year-old kid, 5-year-old boy. He fell down, she forced to lift him and run to shelter, siren in the background, explosions all over the place. So we will go as far as needed, ma'am, to make sure that the Iranian terror regime will no longer pose a threat, not only to Israel, not only to the Iranian, but for the entire free world.
So, Stav, help me understand this. Would you then agree with a lot of Americans who are saying that Israel and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu are the ones who forced America into this war?
No, I wouldn't even say on the contrary. It's just, this is not the right state of mind, not at all. The Americans, let's start off with this, man. Thousands of Americans have been murdered in Afghanistan in previous war caused by Iranian as well, the terror regime of Iran. Americans know these days that when the Iranian terror regime is chanting death to the great Satan, which is America, death to the small Satan, which is Israel, Americans understand that this is an existential threat. Every American in San Francisco, LA, New York, or DC knows that, I hope they know, unless they're living in denial, that they are under immediate threat. And any American who oppose the combination US and Israeli attack on Tehran is basically insisting on digging their own grave, man. Because Iran has long declared its main purpose, which is a khilafah, a very important word that I would love for your viewers to know. A khilafah in Arabic means one Islamic global state. There is no room for India. There is no room for Europe, Israel, United States. There is no room for any other country that is not any Muslim country, acting by the Sharia law, of course. And it's not my personal opinion, man. Although I do see it in the battlefield, that 7th century mentality, that is actually, those are the words from their former leader, Ahmadinejad, who said, and I quote, "We will convert the entire world into Islam."
So, Stav, while you tell me that this is the kind of mentality that the regime has, the kind of response that the IRGC has given has surprised even the US president, considering the fact that Donald Trump himself said that they're surprised that IRGC is targeting allies as well. How then would Israel take this forward?
Well, it's very interesting to see that the Iranian terror regime, actually, just as you stated, is attacking basically anyone, even neutral countries. To be honest, it looks like they're very desperate just to put some pressure on the Americans to stop this war, So they're attacking military facilities, American military facilities all across the Middle East in a desperate attempt to make those countries force the Americans to stop this war. But this is, when someone is on its deathbed and they've got nothing to lose and they're all out of tricks, and they're shooting anywhere that they can. And I'm very familiar with terrorists that are shooting everywhere they can, because I've been fighting those proxies of Iran, Hamas, Jihad, Fatah, you name it, in Gaza, in many other places for the past 12 years in my time in the Israeli Special Forces. I know them. I've seen them. I touched them. I shot at them. They shot at me. I know their mentality very well, ma'am. And this is mentality of those who are willing, gladly sacrificing their own children. Just the other day, you had a Gazan mother. You know it better than me as a woman or as a mother, if I may. I don't know your personal status, but a mother, a Gazan mother, cheered. She did like, really cheered for her fourth son getting killed as a shaheed, as a terrorist. Shaheed is a radical Muslim who's taking his own life while he murdered anyone who's not Muslim. I think that mentality, ma'am.
Can you show us around, Stav, as to what is happening around you? We want to get a sense of how Israel is looking at the moment.
I would love to do it on the street. Right now, I'm in my backyard, so there's nothing to see here.
Okay, so
we can reschedule
So generally, it's calm, at least around your residence.
I can tell you what's happened.
Okay.
No, it's not calm at all, ma'am. I literally just got out of the shelter. Explosions were all over the place. Literally 3 minutes before we started the interview, like 10 minutes ago, not even. I just went out of the bomb shelter, and I'm getting push notifications right now that I need to stay near the shelter because we are about to get another wave of ballistic missiles. And just yesterday, I was in Tel Aviv. Everything is completely deserted. Don't get me wrong, Israelis are strong. We have the mentality of that war. We can last, we can resist, we can maintain, as much as well needed. But ballistic missiles are being shot towards Israel every single day, every couple of hours or so.
Okay.
Lots of destruction in those sites. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there, Stav. Thanks very much for joining us on WION and helping us get a perspective of the Israeli side.
Thank you, ma'am. It was my pleasure. Thank you.